This conference will now be recorded.
So what is the first point on Angular JS? Angular JS is what? It's a framework. It's a framework of JavaScript. Okay. So now whatever you go for, like you go for Angular JS, you go for React JS, the basic thing that you require is the JavaScript. Okay. So without JavaScript, we cannot study that. Right? Without the knowledge of the JavaScript, at least you need to have the functions knowledge. Okay, so how the functions will be called, whatever ways in which we can create the function, like using arrow functions, how we can pass the parameters. So all these styles you need to know in JS. So that is how you relate yourself with the Angular JS, with the Angular JS. Okay, so that is why we call it as the framework of. We call it as what? Framework of whom? Framework of the JS. Angular JS is the framework of the JS. So you also have Angular. Okay, so you also have what? You also have Angular. So Angular is the TypeScript one. Okay, so Angular JS is of JavaScript. Okay, so and you also have Angular. Angular is also there. Angular is there, and Angular JS is also there. So Angular is of TypeScript. It is like a different script. Anyhow, we are learning React, so that is why I'm not going for Angular. I'm going for Angular JS. Okay, so anyhow, we are learning React. So React is somewhere related to TypeScript. So that is why we are learning Angular JS, and then we will learn React JS, which is like depending on the TypeScript. Okay, Angular totally on the TypeScript. Angular JS is totally on the JavaScript. So that's the background you need to understand. Angular is different. Angular JS is different. Angular JS is same components and everything same. Okay, so you will see directives, components, all those things will be same, but the representation by using the JavaScript in Angular JS. But whereas in the Angular, it is TypeScript. TypeScript is like ECMAScript and all those. So somewhere related to this JavaScripting only, but little bit of difference. Hope you are understanding my point. So Angular is also there. Angular JS is also there. Yes, Angular JS is like a complete framework of the JavaScript, whereas Angular is framework of the TypeScript, depending on the TypeScript. Basically. Yes. Okay. Now, what is this Angular responsible for, sir? So, Angular is responsible for creating something like single page application. So what is the single page application and all, we will come to know. So first of all, if somebody is asking you what is Angular JS, what will be your answer? Your answer will be it is a framework. It is a framework. Okay, so what it uses, sir? It uses HTML components only. Okay, so it uses the HTML components only, but it is like an extension. It is like an extension. Now for example, you see here, it can use HTML as a template language. Okay, and extends whose properties? HTML properties, and create what? Create applications, that too single page application. Single page applications means you don't have to refresh, so the loading will be done in the same page. You don't have to refresh or reload. No need of reloading, no need of refreshing and all. You'll understand. So you'll understand what exactly it is going to be. But overall, it is developed on the background. What is there? HTML pages only. So it is not like Angular JS means totally different programming things I'll write. No, I'll write the HTML components only. I'll use the HTML components only. But the coding part, when you come to the coding part, it will be based on this JavaScript capabilities, like functions, like the components which are used. Okay, so that will be there in the background. Event handling. Yes, so these kind of things. Hope you're understanding. Yes, so get the flavor of the thing, then you will easily understand what we will talk about. Okay, so now simply, what is div for you? What is div? Div means, okay, I think, okay. So this is actually okay. Okay, let me write it. So div is like a division in HTML, right? So div ng app. Ng app means Angular app. So that is the attribute that you need to add. That is the attribute that you need to add. So what you need to add? So that is the attribute that you need to add. But that attribute we call here as a directive. In AngularJS, what we call that? We call that as a directive. So generally it is an attribute for us. Up to now we have seen like div style is equal to, or we have seen something like p style is equal to, or we have seen img src. What are all those there? Those are all attributes. But here, so the placement is like attribute only, but what is the name of that? It is called as a directive. It is called as what? Directive. So this is called as a directive. What is the directive name? Ng app. So like this we have so many directives that we will be going for. Okay, so where the directive tag is used, the directive tag is used, the directive tag, what is that directive, not tag basically. So what is the directive? Ng app directive is used under which one? Under the div. Under the div. Who is div? Basically div is the HTML element. Div is the HTML element. So what I'm trying to say, so generally how you create the div? Div. Okay, so you write some code and you'll close the div, right? Yes or no? You'll close the div. But what I'm saying, you make this an Angular component. You make this an Angular component. How you can make it as an Angular component? You can say ng app. Ng app is equal to something. So you should just give the name of the app or something there. So that we will cover up later. Getting my point? Yes or no? So here you will have some content. What content and all we will see. Understanding my point? Now how we made that as Angular? We added something like ng-app. ng-app. So what we added? ng-app, right? Now you got a clear idea what exactly Angular is. Angular is the framework of the JavaScript. It is built on the basis of the HTML and the JavaScript. And how we can make a normal application as Angular? We said div ng app is equal to, and the content and the div close normally. Is that clear? Okay. Now why we use Angular? What is the help that we get by using the Angular? Okay. So let's talk about this. Okay. Let me uh, write few lines and make you understand these things. Okay. Now what is the explanation of this line? The explanation of this line is here. Okay. So let me. So we know that div is HTML tag, but ng app is a directive of AngularJS, which is used in div tag like an attribute, like an attribute. But what it is telling you? It is telling you that, hey boss, this is going to be a which app? Angular app. This is going to be a Angular app. Okay. So what is the first benefit? Okay. So what is the first benefit that you can see? Angular JS has capability to bind data with the HTML. So what is the first capability of Angular? It can bind the data to HTML. Dynamism is added or not? Dynamism is added or not? Obviously dynamism is added. So what we are doing? We are adding, or we are binding the data with the HTML. So up to now we were looking like static things only, but now we are trying to bind the things. We are trying to bind the things. Yes or no? We are trying to bind the things to the HTML. Okay. Now next point. If you understand here, it creates which application? Single page application. Single page application means you do not require a reload. You do not require a reload, or you do not require any refresh of the page. Now, suppose if you are making some button click or something. Yes. Now, for example, you are writing your login and password. Okay, so once you say login and password, and then it will land into the second page. So in that second page, what you are doing, so you are, like say, you are playing a video in Instagram. Will it load a new page or will it run in that page only? It will run in that page only. Why? New page. Will it open in a new page? YouTube, Instagram. Will that open in a new page or play in that page only? Play in that page only. Why? Because that is a single page application. Single page application. So you are not opening another page to play that file. Am I clear? So this kind of application, so when you do some button click or something, you are getting, so inner HTML and all those kind of things only. Yes, am I clear? So what is the use of AngularJS? It provides single page application. It provides single page application. So then comes AngularJS. Okay, so AngularJS will be on MVC framework. Will be on which framework? MVC framework. So what is MVC framework? Now everyone here know about servlets, JSP. You have idea, no? So servlet JSP is also MVC only. Is also what? MVC, model view controller. Model view controller. So what is model view controller for me? Okay, now I'll just tell you a simple example. I always tell this. Now, as a user, what you do? You will open a web app. Let's say you will open a web app. So you have opened a web app and you gave your hall ticket number. Okay, so what you gave? You gave your hall ticket number. You opened a web app and you gave your hall ticket number, something like 43497 6 something you give, right? Now, who provided this view? Who provided this view? HTML, CSS, and all, no? Yes or no? Okay. Now this is going to be the view part. This is going to be which part? The view part. Viewing. You are viewing, no? So user is viewing something. So what is that part? V part. V means the view part. Okay. Now once you make this uh, hard ticket submit. Okay, so what you're doing here? You are submitting. Once you submit, where it will go? It will go to the server. It will go to the server. Where the request will go? The request will go to the server. Who is there here, sir, in the server? Now, suppose if you are a Java programmer, you will have servlet, JSP, Spring Boot framework, and all these things. Suppose if you are a Python developer, you have something like Django and all. Okay, so this is going to be the controller part. Which part? Controller part. Which part, sir? Controller part. Which part? Controller part. View part. Next comes the controller part. And this controller may take the help of the database. What? Database. So what is database here? Database is the model part. Database is the model part. So totally what architecture this is? MVC architecture or framework basically. Yes. M for model. Model means the data. Model means the data. Okay. Controller. Controller is the one who will take the request, who will process the request, where all the bulk programming things are there. Python, Java, if you are doing any other programming, all other things are there in which part? The controller part. The controller, your servlets, your JSP, all these are MVC architectures only. So they'll take the request, they'll have the Java program, they will connect with the database, and they will provide the response. They'll provide the response. What is this architecture? MVC, model, view, and control. View means what the user is looking at. What the user is looking at? User is looking at a form. User is looking at a form. So user is working with a form. Getting my points or not? Yes. Okay. And then uh, less code, more functionality. What is the advantage of AngularJS? You use less code, but you provide more functionality. So that is the best thing about AngularJS and the React.js. What they do? They will make you write less and achieve more. Write less and achieve more. So you write very less number of lines, but you get more and more things into action. Yes or no? Okay, so that is how it is. Okay, so obviously reusability is one of the greatest feature of this particular Angular JS. Okay, reusability. You're reusing the things like JS. No, JS means obviously functions are there and other components are there to reuse. Okay, here also Angular JS will provide the functionality for reusing. What we reuse? We reuse the components. We reuse the codes and the components of course. Is my point clear? Now, what all you understood up to here? Simple. Make it very simple. Don't try to tell me all things by looking at it. Tell me in simple words. What is Angular JS? JS framework. Second, it is totally based on HTML and the JavaScript. Of course, CSS, Bootstrap, that will be there. That is different case. Next step. Single page application. What is a single page application? No reloading or no refreshment is required. So we can achieve the task in the same page itself. With that, what happens? The traffic will be less, no? So again, server it has to go again, get the request back, accepting the cookies. All that headache won't be there. Yes, is my point clear? Okay. Next thing, it is MVC architecture. It is MVC. MVC stands for model, view, and control. And finally, we can reuse the codes. We can reuse the codes. Of course, less lines, more functionality. Less lines, more function. So these are the important minimum things which are required for every one of us to understand what is Angular JS. What is Angular JS? Angular and Angular different. Angular JS is totally built on JavaScript. Angular is totally built on TypeScript. So once you understand this, that easy. That is very easy to understand. Okay. Any one of the thing they will ask you. Okay. To be prepared. Okay. Then we can understand. 1 second. Then we can understand how we can deal with the installation stuff. Okay. Right. So download AngularJS. So go to this website angularjs.org. Okay, so versions might change, so I'll just try to write this. Okay, writing is taking more time. Okay, download Angular JS. Okay, 1 second. Let me also open it. Downloading and installing might take some time. Okay, or else we can take that files also and work with. Node.js installed in your systems? Node.js installed, no? Okay, let's see. If it is not, we will try to do it. Okay, if it is not working, we'll try to do it. Okay, so where you have to go now? You have to go to angularjs.org. Okay, 1 second. Here it is asking you to AngularJS support actually ended as of January 2022. Okay, you can visit angular.io. Anyone is fine. Okay, so this is totally Angular, so don't go for it. So let us go for AngularJS only. So download AngularJS. Click on download AngularJS. Okay, so 1.8 is the latest. Okay, say download. So you get this file, just right click, save as. So this is the JS file. So what you can do with JS file, you can go for 1 second. So I have some Angular JS, anywhere you can keep. So say new folder, name that folder as JS and save there. Take any application, store this there. Or else you can directly, okay, I'll show you the, okay, here. So you click on download AngularJS. Okay, so you got this. So say download. Okay, so there are many ways to connect. So you can use this link also, or you can use this file location also. Anything you can use. This is the file location. This is the file location, or you have downloaded anyhow, no? That also you can. Yeah, do it. Over. Okay. Right. So now what we need to do? So we need to either include AngularJS, or we can include the file. We can include the file. Okay, so for doing this, what we can do, go to Visual Studio app. Okay, one more thing I wanted to tell you. So we were facing some difficulty with Bootstrap typing and all that. No, now I can help you with this Bootstrap 5 quick snippets extension. Okay, so go for the extensions. Visual Studio open. Visual Studio open. Okay, I'll do it for you. Okay, I uninstalled it. Close it. Go to the extensions. Extensions there. Control Shift X shortcut. Control Shift X. Control Shift X. సరే ఇది ఫస్ట్ ఎందుకు చెప్పలేదు అంటే ఫస్ట్ చెప్తే మీరు కష్టపడరని చెప్పలేదు. So Control Shift X. So you got this window, small window extensions, right? So there you can say bootstrap. Okay, bootstrap ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది చూడండి. No, Spring Boot is different. We'll go at that time. Spring Bootstrap 5 quick snippets. So search for Bootstrap 5 snippets. ఇది కూడా ఉంది. Okay. But we will go for better review. Okay. So better review దీనికి ఉంది. So we can go for it. 5-star rating also there, no? And it is like updated. Okay. So we can go for that. చాలా ఉంటాయి, చాలా extensions ఉంటాయి, right? So ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది మీకు Bootstrap 5 extension, lot of Bootstrap 5 snippets. So చాలా ఉంటాయి, but I want to go for the best ones, like more number of libraries. Okay, just click on it. Okay, ఇక్కడ వచ్చిందా 5-star rating, 8, 9, 4, 8, no 7 libraries here. Okay, so just కింద డెమో కూడా చూపిస్తున్నాడు చూడండి. ఓకే, సో కింద డెమో చూపిస్తున్నాడు. బిఎస్ అనగానే మనకి ఏ కాంపోనెంట్ కావాలంటే ఆ కాంపోనెంట్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. అకార్డియన్ కావాలి, అకార్డియన్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. జంబోట్రాన్ కావాలి, జంబోట్రాన్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, like that. But what we have to do first is we have to install. So just install it. Okay, for 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes it will be over. Okay, right. So now I have to say .bs bootstrap. Okay, so .bs hyphen okay, so .bs5. Okay, accordion default. Okay, .bs5 అనండి. .bs5 accordion default వచ్చేసి చూసారా, right? So just you take off the dot from here. Over. All the code has come. Yes or no? Accordion item 1, accordion item 2. Okay, otherwise I'll run this and show. Okay. 1 second. So now I will take away all these things. Okay, otherwise I'll take a new file. Okay, so HTML file. So what I'll do is I'll just copy these things from here. Okay, so in the body what I'll do here is I will say dot bs5 dot bs5 hyphen. Okay, so dot bs5 hyphen dot bs hyphen అన్న వస్తాయి. Dot bs hyphen అన్న వస్తాయి, no problem. So I am taking accordion default. Okay, so dot bs hyphen, if you say, you will get all this. So నీకు ఏ కాంపోనెంట్ కావాలనుకుంటే ఆ కాంపోనెంట్. Okay, so now I want some accordion component. Okay, so accordion, so you need to make changes. Now for example, this is first accordion. So let me save this and run. Okay, accordion. So what was accordion actually? మనకి ఇట్లా కొట్టంగానే ఇట్లా కంటెంట్ వస్తుంది కదా. So that is accordion. Okay, so you can design more accordions. Okay, so accordion item 1. So this is accordion body, right? So atla manamu bootstrap kuda we can have the extension. We can have the extensions. అంటే మనకి time మిగిలిపోతుంది. So you don't have to create from scratch. Yes, you have to make changes. You have to make the changes. Okay, right. So then coming back to Angular. So what are the two things that I need to add here? I can add either this or this. Okay, so both of them I'll add first. Then we will try and take off. ఓకే, మీరు ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాపీ చేస్తారు సార్ అంటే ఇక్కడ మీకు ఆ లింక్ వచ్చింది కదా, ఈ పైన లింక్ వచ్చిందా, ఇదే అన్నమాట. దిస్ ఇస్ ద లింక్. ఈ పైన లింక్ వచ్చింది కదా, అదే లింక్. డోంట్ ట్రై టు హార్డ్ కోడ్ ఇట్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద స్క్రిప్ట్. సో యూ కెన్ యాడ్ దీస్ టూ. in your HTML document. Okay, so this all you can take off for now. What you are doing, script src is equal to where you will get this link. You will get this link from this. మీరు డౌన్లోడ్ యాంగులర్ అన్నారు కదా, డౌన్లోడ్ యాంగులర్ చేసి అన్నారు కదా, అక్కడ నుంచి వస్తుంది. ఓకే, లేదు సార్ నా ఫైల్లో నుంచి పెట్టుకోవాలి నేను అనుకుంటే, మీరు ఆల్రెడీ ఎందులో వేసారు ఈ ఫైల్, జేఎస్ అనే ఫైల్ వేసారు కదా, జేఎస్ స్లాష్ యాంగులర్, రైట్, .js లో ఉందా? Oh, we did not save it. We'll save this file. Save as demo.html. Okay, so ./js/ file name enti, what is the file name under JS? So file name is angular min.js. angular min.js. Done. Okay, right. So in this way you added what? You added the Angular content. What you added here? You added Angular content. Okay, right. Now what we can do, we can work with the Angular operations, Angular directives and all. Okay, let's go for the first Angular application. So I'll just zoom it. I want you people to type it very fast. Yes, so ఇది ఒకసారి చూస్తే మీకు అర్థమైపోతుంది ఏంటి అనేది. So you type it very fast. So ఇక్కడ మీకు అన్ని తెలిసినాయి. తెలియని అంటే రెండే ఉన్నాయి. ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ బోత్. ఫస్ట్ ఇది ఏంటమ్మా, ఎన్జీ యాప్. మీకు ఐడియా ఉంది కదా ఎన్జీ యాప్ అంటే ఏంటి? వాట్ వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ ఇట్. ఎన్జీ యాప్ అనగానే ఏం చేస్తున్నాం దాన్ని? వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ దట్ యాప్ యాజ్ యాంగ్లర్ యాప్. వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ దట్ యాప్ యాజ్ యాంగ్లర్ యాప్. ఓకే. Now, what is the main core idea of Angular? The core idea of Angular is to bind the data into HTML document. Data అనేది ఎవరు? ఒక మోడల్. డేటా అనేది ఏంటి? మోడల్. ఓకే, సో రిమెంబర్ దట్ అండ్ టైప్. Remember these two words and type. What are the two words? First word is, or first line I should say. What is the first line? Angular binds the data into HTML document. Second one, it works on MVC architecture. It works on MVC architecture, where M means model. M means model. Model means nothing but data. Model means nothing but data. Please understand these. I mean, please remember these things and type these lines. Exactly, you have to type these lines. Hope you can see them. Not these black lines. That is my pen actually. సింగిల్ పేజ్ అప్లికేషన్ అంటే ఏంటో మీకు ఒక ఐడియా రావడానికి అనమాట ఈ ఎగ్జామ్. క్రియేట్ చేసి
ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి
ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి
నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి?
ఇది HTML డాక్యుమెంట్ తీసుకో. HTML డాక్యుమెంట్ ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్ HTML డాక్యుమెంట్ తీసుకోవాలి. డాట్ బిఎస్ ఐఫోన్. ఓకే, సో ఐఫోన్ మొత్తంగానే అప్లోడ్ అవుతుంది. సేవ్ చేస్తా HTML సేవ్ ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది కింద ఉంది HTML బిఎస్
బిఎస్
సేవ్ ఎక్కడో సేవ్ చూద్దాం తర్వాత. సో మీకు అకార్డియన్ కావాలి. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఇదొక అకార్డియన్. నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకొక డివ్ తీసుకుంటే ఇంకొక అకార్డియన్, అట్లా మనం ఎన్ని అకార్డియన్లన్నీ యాడ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. మళ్ళీ ఇంకో అకార్డియన్ కావాలి, మళ్ళీ సేమ్ న్యూ ఫైల్ కాదు, నాకు ఒకటే పేర్లో 3 అకార్డియన్లు కావాలి. అకార్డియన్ అంటే ఏంటి, క్లిక్ చేయగానే కంటెంట్ అంతా వచ్చేటట్టు. సో అది నువ్వు మళ్ళీ హార్డ్ కోడ్ చేసుకోవాల్సిన మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లా చేసేసుకొని మనం కంటెంట్ మార్చుకోవాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది, నువ్వు జావా కంటెంట్ అంటే వాడు JAVA అని క్లిక్ చేయగానే JAVA అని క్లిక్ చేయగానే వాడి కంటెంట్ అంతా ఇక్కడ కనబడాలి. ఓకే, సో ఆ కంటెంట్ జావా కంటెంట్ అంతా ఇక్కడ కనబడాలి. వాడు దాని మీద మళ్ళీ క్లిక్ చేయగానే ఆ కంటెంట్ హైడ్ అయిపోవాలి అట్లా. సో హైడింగ్ అదంతా కూడా మనం ఇంతకు ముందు కోడ్లో ఇచ్చాం. ఆ కోడ్ని బట్టి ఇక్కడ అప్డేషన్స్ చేసుకోం. అంటే దీనివల్ల ఏంటంటే అడ్వాంటేజ్, మనం కోడ్ ఎక్కువ హార్డ్ కోడ్ రాయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. సో అదంతా అదే వచ్చేస్తుంది. మనం జస్ట్ కంటెంట్ మార్చుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది. కోడ్ మొత్తం అదే వచ్చింది, మనం జస్ట్ అప్డేట్ చేయాలి, కంటెంట్ అప్డేట్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఓకే, చేసారా ఇది వచ్చిందా? సో అవుట్పుట్ మీకు ఇట్లా రావాలి. ఇక్కడ ప్రభాస్ అని టైప్ చేశాను, అప్పుడు ప్రభాస్ ఫ్యాన్స్ ఉన్నట్టున్నారు. అక్కడ ప్రభాస్ అని టైప్ చేయగానే ఇక్కడ వెల్కమ్ ప్రభాస్ అని వచ్చేస్తాను. సరే, నేను చేస్తాను చూడండి ఫాస్ట్గా. హెల్ప్ మీ విత్ ద కోడ్. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నా నేను div ng app is equal to, సో లోపల ఏం చేశాను, ఇన్పుట్. ఓకే, సో ఇన్పుట్ నేమ్. సో ఇన్పుట్ నేమ్, సో నేమ్ కి మనం ఏం పెట్టుకున్నాము, ఇంకో పారాగ్రాఫ్ తీసుకొని I used input type is equal to జస్ట్ ఒక ఐడియా వచ్చేస్తుంది మీకు ఈరోజు యాంగులర్ ఏంటో. తర్వాత రేపు మనం డైరెక్టివ్స్ అవి చూడవచ్చు. ఇక్కడ ఏమంటున్నా నేను, ఇన్పుట్ టైప్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు టెక్స్ట్ ng మోడల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ID. సో ఆ మోడల్కి మనం ఒక నేమ్ ఇస్తున్నాం, ఏంటది, ID. అంటే this ID will hold my data. What this ID will do, దిస్ ఐడి విల్ హోల్డ్ మై డేటా అనమాట. నా డేటాని ఐడి హోల్డ్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే రైట్. సో ఆ డేటాని మనము ఎక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాము? ఆ టెక్స్ట్ ఇన్పుట్ లోంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాం. ఎక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాము? టెక్స్ట్ ఇన్పుట్ లోంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాం. రైట్. ఓకే. నౌ I am saying welcome. Now this is the first ఇన్పుట్ ప్రిపరేషన్ అనమాట. అంటే నువ్వు ఇచ్చిన ఇన్పుట్ నాకు ప్రింట్ అవ్వడానికి నేను ఏం వాడాలి అంటే డబుల్ యాంగులర్ బ్రేసెస్ వాడాలి. వాట్ ఐ షుడ్ యూస్? డబుల్ యాంగులర్ బ్రేసెస్. మన కంటెంట్ మన పేజ్ లోకి ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఐ షుడ్ యూస్ ద డబుల్, what is that? Double flower brackets, like with the double what do you call it? Flower brackets antam, lekapothe you can say double angular braces antam. So anything you can say. Okay right. So save it. Now if I run this, okay, open the edge. Now what I got first? I got an input box. I got what? Input box. So now what I will do? I will enter some name, something like Ram. Did I load the page? So is this not a single page application? Yes or no? Did I load the page? నేను అక్కడ నేమ్ టైప్ చేసేస్తున్నాను, కింద వచ్చేస్తుంది లోడ్ చేయకుండానే. అదే మీరు జనరల్గా అయితే ఏం చేయాలి? మీరు ఇక్కడ టైప్ చేసి మళ్ళీ సబ్మిట్ కొడితే అది ఎక్కడికో వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది. అవునా? కానీ ఇక్కడ అంతా అవసరం లేదన్నమాట. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద పవర్ ఆఫ్ యాంగులర్ జేఎస్. సో మన రేపటి జాబ్ ఏంటి సార్ అంటే ఈ ఎన్జీ మోడల్, ఎన్జీ యాప్ ఇట్లాంటి కొన్ని డైరెక్టివ్స్ ఉంటాయి. బైండ్ అని, లూప్స్ చేయొచ్చు, ఇలాంటి చాలా చాలా ఉన్నాయి టెర్మినాలజీస్. ఆ టెర్మినాలజీస్ అన్ని మనము రేపు చదువుతాం. సో ఫర్ నౌ, ఫర్ టుడే వాట్ వీ డిడ్, we understood what is AngularJS, and we understood how we can what we can do with AngularJS, and we also understood how we can download the file. Okay, so downloading the file and taking that particular path. Okay, so extension. So ingoti bootstrap extension is previous class only, not this class. Angular extension kuda untai, kani now we will see that later. Okay, so we understood that oka application Angular avali ante ఎన్జీ యాప్ అనే డైరెక్టివ్ని మనము యూజ్ చేయాలి. ఆ డేటాని పట్టుకోవాలి అంటే నాకు ఎన్జీ మోడల్ అనే డైరెక్టివ్ కావాలి. సో ఇలా ఏమేమి డైరెక్టివ్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఏంటి అనేది మనం నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్లో చూద్దాం. రైట్. ఓకే. సో ఆన్లైన్ పీపుల్ ఆల్సో డిడ్ దిస్. ఎస్. ఓకే. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద పాయింట్ హియర్? సో వీఆర్ కీపింగ్ దిస్ వన్. సపోజ్ ఈ రెండు లేవు అనుకోండి, ఆ రెండు లేవు అనుకుందాం. ఆ రెండు లేకపోతే ఇది జరుగుతుందా లేదా చూద్దాం. నౌ రిఫ్రెష్ దిస్ పేజ్ అగైన్. నౌ వాట్ ఐ గాట్ హియర్, నువ్వు ఏం ప్రింట్ చేస్తున్నావో, నువ్వు ఏమి HTML డాక్యుమెంట్లో ఇస్తున్నావో అది వస్తుంది. రామ్, ఇక్కడ నేను రామ్ టైప్ చేస్తే ఇక్కడ రామ్ రావడం అంత జరుగుతుందా? ఎందుకు జరగట్లేదు? బికాస్ ద పేజ్ ఈజ్ నో మోర్ యాంగులర్. ద పేజ్ ఈజ్ నో మోర్ యాంగులర్. యాంగులర్ కావాలంటే నువ్వు ఏం చేయాలి? నీ పేజ్ యాంగులర్ కావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? your page needs to be angular. What you have to do? What you have to do? You have to add that paths and all, right?